Today's episode will be up and running mañana.
Happy Tuesday, huh? All righty.
Happy Tuesday. Just jump the gun. You don't know this sequence really yet. After 12 years.
That's when the tism pops into play. Autism.
Autistic.
I thought you were referring to romanticism.
No, just autism.
You good with that microphone there, buddy?
We're good.
We've been here since 5 p.m. He decides to adjust his mic at like 8 o'clock.
Your ass was sitting here for a freaking hour. That's why.
Yeah, we were discussing immigration.
Oh, geez. I should bring that up. But you know what? Happy Monday. Let's do an introduction really quickly. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
See.
Huh?
It is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
In Hawaii.
I was waiting for you to say something. But
Hawaii, it's 5. 5:05.
Yeah. First and foremost, our apologies for last week. We had to cancel the show. Family emergency took place, but thank God all is well. Last week we were originally going to be talking about basically the home health, hospice, and the fraud that's taking place in California. Dude, it's crazy. Like, as you guys know, we've been doing this for a long time, and many of you know that I am in the real estate industry. Every time somebody would bring up, real estate, now it's like, hey, hospice, huh? So,
A little bit.
I guess you got the last laugh.
I did get the last laugh. So we're gonna be diving into some hospice and home health and the fraud that's been taking place in California. We'll be talking about
specifically LA. Yeah.
Specifically LA. Yeah, we'll also be talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. We'll dabble into that, and obviously, I guess it's the news of freaking February of 2026
Or the century, maybe.
or possibly the century. The 3 million files from the Epstein emails released literally a couple of days ago. There's obviously some unwinding to do there because this whole Epstein satanic rituals and baby eating stuff, dude. There's actually a lot more to that than just the alleged baby eating and intestines and all that stuff. So, but I mean, prior to getting to that, let's kind of jump into the whole home health and hospice stuff first. Obviously, you've been in the industry for how long?
I'm embarrassed to even say that.
Why? You're not real estate?
No,
pero real estate.
It's not good for you today.
No good for you today, huh?
18 years.
18 years. And have you ever seen anything like this take place in the 18 years you've been in the industry?
No, I mean, it's definitely, look, one of the big changes that came about was, I believe it was 2022. So about 4 years ago, January, a moratorium was passed that they will no longer issue any new hospice licenses, which frankly, they'd been talking about for probably 10, 15 years. And finally, they pulled the trigger on it 4 years ago. And that's why pre that moratorium, you saw a lot of people jump into, like in your industry, they were calling you to rent these small offices so they can get a provider number, right?
Minimum 500 square feet. That's what it was.
And the purpose of that was because they were thinking, okay, the moratorium's coming. If we have these licenses and new ones are not going to be issued, the price of the license will go up, which it may have very temporarily because of the, no longer being able to apply for a new one. But then at the same time, they passed the moratorium of you can't immediately sell it. You have to sit on it for, I believe it was 3 years, and then they changed it to 5 years or whatever that number is.
Meaning you have to operate the business, right? By sitting on it, you mean operate the actual business.
Correct. Before you can do what's called a change of ownership. CHOW. That's what it is. CHOW. So when that passed, the prices kind of went back to its, norm.
Prices for
the license,
okay,
what you can sell it for. And so, which, look, frankly, like I said, they should have done this a long time ago, if you ask me, because there's a couple of states around the country, Florida being one of them, it's a certificate of need state, which means you have to show that there's a need for it in order for them to issue a license. And that's based off, okay, this particular county has, for instance, 20,000 seniors that can be served by hospice providers. There's only 8 providers out there. I think a 9th one is in need. And if you can justify that, then they'll issue a license to you. And if you look in Florida, you won't find any licenses really for sale because nobody's going to sell it because it's a certificate of need state. Whereas in California, at one point, there were more probably hospice and home health for sale on Biz-Buy-Sell than real estate on Redfin.
I'm looking at some of the numbers here. It's only going back to 2023, which can kind of justify why 2024 and 2025 aren't there because they probably stopped issuing licenses. But as of 2023, there are a total of 2,137 hospice agencies
in California,
in the state of California.
Yes.
Of the 2,134, 2,098 are hospice only. The other 36 are hospice along with home health.
Well, no, home health, there's a lot more than 30-something.
So home health, no, I'm saying hospice and home health together, simultaneously.
Well, it's not, you can't say that technically because they're 2 separate licenses.
Okay, I'm basically reading based off of what the count is in California. As far as just home health agencies, it's 2,702 home health agencies. So just to kind of understand it, hospice, the main difference between hospice and home health is hospice is kind of end of life.
Terminal patients.
Yeah. And home health is if somebody is...
Home health is more somebody that's rehabilitating.
So basically, if they were discharged from the hospital, they need some sort of care.
Physical therapy, IV.
At home, though.
Yeah. Maybe some diabetic care, wound care. There's different...
Wound care. That one died quick.
Well, speaking of wound care, I mean, we do have when was it? An article came out, I think December 16th of last year, where this couple out of Arizona defrauded Medicare for $1.2 billion in a matter of 24 months.
Jeez.
Which is $50 million a month.
That's insane. How do they get those numbers?
Because this new Medicare came up with this new reimbursement code a few years ago where they pay, I don't know what it was, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month for every 2-3 centimeter of graft, a skin graft.
So this is for that wound care that you're talking about.
Wound graft, yeah. So imagine somebody has a wound, let's say, 2-3 inches squared. That's, if you take that into centimeters, for every centimeter square, they're paying you, let's say, $4,000 a month. You could potentially be billing, $30,000, $40,000 a month for every little wound.
See, I was getting calls for wound care offices earlier to mid last year. They called, they said, I need 500 to 800 square feet and it's for wound care. And I was like, wound care? They're like, yeah, it's the new thing.
Yeah. And look, it's not to say that there's always been fraud in healthcare, obviously. There's fraud in every single industry, okay? If we look at some of the largest healthcare frauds, number one was in 2009, Pfizer for $2.3 billion. Johnson & Johnson in 2013, $2.2 billion. Purdue Pharma back between 2020 and 2023, $8+ billion total. I mean, I can go on. There's a ton of them in the billions and billions range, okay? And then if you look at hospice, one of the major hospice frauds was it was billed over $110 million in fraudulent hospice claims. And then you have a scam out of Texas for $87 million. And one of the largest hospices, Kindred, Vitas, these guys have paid tens and tens of millions of dollars back. Because what ends up happening is some of these larger hospices will get hit with the $70, $80, $100 million lawsuit because they've overbilled because they put their patients on a level of care that they were not appropriate. Because there's different levels of care in hospice. So what happens is if you overbill, see, just like with your taxes, right? You can file your taxes, get a $100,000 return. or you can just pay nothing. Well, you can adjust your numbers however you please until you get audited, right? So same thing with healthcare. You can bill whatever you want. You will very likely get paid. But then every year, not like the IRS randomly audits you, but healthcare, Medicare audits you every single year. And so you have to show what did you bill for. And when you show whatever you owe them, you have to pay back. But what happens is that's why they'll have multiple provider numbers. And by the time they, audit this one, they'll transfer it to this other one. And then this audit ends, they close this one down, they've got this other one. But this is being done all around the country.
So the scam that's been taking place in California, especially in Los Angeles, is the fake hospices. People are being billed that aren't really on hospice.
Correct.
So as we all saw a couple of weeks ago, Dr. Oz has been going out and about all over Los Angeles, driving around, pointing out at certain businesses, from pharmacies to bakeries and possibly hospices as well, or home health, mentioning that, oh, look, this is Russian Armenian writing. There's the Russian mafia involved in this, and there's fraudulent activity going down, and we're going to crack down on all these individuals, and we're going to shut down these businesses. First and foremost, in my opinion, I think Dr. Oz has a grudge against the Armenian people. As many of you know, he is of Turkish descent. He has dual citizenship of Turkey and America. And
wasn't he in the Turkish army as well?
He has served in the Turkish army. And everybody knows the history behind Armenia and Turkey. We're not the best of friends. And obviously, an individual like that who has a lot of power assigned to him by President Trump is now...
Well, so let me clarify. He didn't serve in the military. He did in order for him to, because he was born in Cleveland, Ohio, and in order for him to maintain his Turkish citizenship, because he had to complete a mandatory military training, which was about 60 days. So he was not in the army long term.
Perfect. Thanks for
temporary, basically.
Yeah.
But anyways, he does have dual citizenship.
He does, yeah.
And when he was running for Congress, I believe they were asking him to denounce his citizenship of Turkey, which he didn't do. And that's one of the reasons why he lost the majority of votes. I believe Fetterman was the one that beat him, right?
Fetterman, yes.
Yes, he was the one that beat him out. So, but anyways, going back to Dr. Oz, the video that he put out of him driving around Los Angeles, the worst one was when he was right in front of that bakery. It was an Armenian bakery. And he's pointing at the letters. He's saying it's Russian Armenian writing. There's hospice fraud going on around here. I just don't understand who his production team was, his editing team was, that they didn't sit down and say, hey, listen, maybe, just maybe, we should run this by some Armenians and tell them, can you tell us what this text actually says before we put this out there?
You can just use Google. Take a picture, upload the picture into Google, and it'll translate it for you. You don't need
that video seemed very rushed. It seemed rushed to get it out there as soon as possible. And again, it's freaked out a lot of people who are committing fraud. I'm not saying that there isn't any fraud going around. And the one thing that I want to kind of clarify is it's not only the Armenian people. Look, Los Angeles has the second biggest population of Armenians outside of Yerevan, Armenia, outside of Armenia itself. And we're scattered all over LA, from Glendale, Burbank, Granada Hills, North Hollywood, all over the place. It's unfortunate that he targeted Los Angeles, and a lot of the business owners are of Armenian descent, but you just can't pinpoint all of California and say it's the Armenians who are doing the fraud. Well, let me correct that.
A lot of the business owners in Los Angeles are not of Armenian descent. A lot of them, coincidentally, on the streets he went to are of Armenian descent. But look, it's all aesthetics. That's all it was. He was trying to show that we're out here, we're taking a look. But he's not. I don't think he's taking a look at anything. I mean, look, we can't discredit as far as Dr. Oz himself personally. The guy's a super educated guy, Harvard, he undergraduate at Harvard. He got his MD, cardiothoracic surgeon. He got his MBA from Wharton.
His father was a doctor as well.
Yes. So he's not a schmuck. And for him to just come out here just for the aesthetics and, just to randomly video something in the backseat of a car, just like you said, seemed very unprepared. Just like that $1.2 billion wound care fraud example I gave you, non-Armenians. Look, we don't even commit 1% of the healthcare fraud as Armenians. But unfortunately, it seems like a lot because our culture has a tendency of, driving the G-Wagons and the Rolls Royces. It kind of comes with the license. When you get the license, you post it on the wall. The health department sends you a free G63.
Oh, is that what it is?
I didn't get one, but I don't know. Maybe I missed that check mark on the application where it says.
I think you put the wrong suite number.
Or that. Because I see one next building. Next
the Brabus.
So that's the biggest difference. It's not otherwise, man. What you don't think Asians, Jews, Hispanics, all these other cultures, they're committing healthcare fraud. Of course they are, on a much, much bigger scale than Armenians.
Yeah, we're always at the tail end of it.
We are. Plus, man, we're like an eyesore when it comes. We don't keep it down. Like, just drive a regular car. You don't need to roll in a $500,000 car, especially if you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I mean, not to make excuses, we want those people to get caught, to be honest with you. Doesn't it ruin the legitimate business like yours, Arnold?
How it ruins legitimate businesses is that every year they come up with new regulations and more paperwork and more different check boxes and new things you got to submit, which nothing has to do with patient care. None of it is a benefit to the patient. It's all so they have more matrix, more things to catch you on and to say, oh,
it's more red tape.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
You didn't mark this and that, so you got to pay us back X amount. And if you don't meet that criteria, they just recently, October 1st, they passed a new thing called HOPE. And if you don't meet that, it used to be called HIS, H-I-S, which was still, you have to submit it. And if you don't submit it, if you are lower than a 90% submittal rate, they take 4% out of your total reimbursement, which could be a lot of money, right? So then they changed it to HOPE, and HOPE now has, a lot more different categories and check marks and visits you got to complete, all which have nothing to do with patient quality of care. It's only so they can be like, oh yeah, this guy, because of these reasons, we need you to either, we're going to do an ADR, which is an audit of your billing, or we can freeze your account for several months while we take our time and audit, and you're guilty till proven innocent. You're not innocent.
Oh, it's not the opposite.
No, not at all. Not when it comes to Medicare or the IRS. You're always guilty till proven innocent. They could freeze it for as long as they want. I mean, somebody who did that. They did that too. Yeah, they froze it for several months. Imagine you have payroll, you have everything, but you're not getting paid until they're like, oh yeah, you're okay. You get that money, but then you got to be able to survive those months.
Yeah, they took a lot out of that guy, whoever you're talking about. I know.
But the challenge, the issue that I have more than anything else is when no matter who it is, these grandparents that are being signed on to these services, especially hospice, has a lifetime cap, which means Medicare will not pay more than that amount for that life. It's not per year. It's not per 5-year cycle. It's for life, as long as you have Medicare, which is currently it's about $34,000. It's not a lot of money. And there's a misconception. People think, oh, when a hospice patient dies, you get that $34,000, lump sum. No, we don't. We get paid for however many days that patient was on service.
So these individuals that sign up these fake patients or sign up family members for hospice, and the cap is, you said 34,000, right? So if they sign up grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle, whoever it is, 34,000 is paid, and grandma and grandpa are still alive. God forbid something actually happens to them later on in the future. Then
they
what?
Don't have coverage.
So they're willing to basically gamble the health care of a family member.
They don't know
for
that.
$34,000.
Unfortunately, most family members don't know that. Because I've come across in, all these years, many patients they'll come to me like, grandpa's not doing well. and we'll run it. We're like, yeah, but 4 years ago, you guys exhausted everything you have. If I take on your grandma now, basically, I'm going negative, taking care of her.
Or you're going out of pocket.
That's what I mean, out of pocket. Yeah, negative out of pocket. Why would I do that?
Well, not you. They got to pay for grandma's care, no?
Yeah, unless it's a hospice that's planning on shutting down, then they may take them on and be like, we'll just bill a few more months. It's okay. Because you could still bill, but Medicare will audit you next year and you have to pay it back. So it's not that you can't bill. So there's somebody who will gladly take that patient, bill him again, and then boom, maybe shut down before,
And these, I'm sure these people are aware of that, though, man.
Who, the families or the operators?
Of course.
A lot of families, I would suspect, don't know the $34,000.
You wouldn't ask that. Hey, listen, how long does this go on for? What happens if the funds are exhausted, or what happens? Because I asked it.
You think they're going to tell you, even if you ask? Remember when people were selling NEGAM loans? Were they explaining what's happening to that negative?
Of course not.
What does a negative amortization mean? No. Chopping your payments $1,800. Yeah, but what happens to the other $1,200? Nothing. Oh, it doesn't add up to the to the balance.
Or the interest only loans.
Oh man.
So it's no different.
So what happens after 5 years? We'll see.
Let me bank on it.
We'll refi you by then.
A little go.
Yeah. Let it go. Oh man. I mean, at this point, you have to look at it as complete fraud on behalf of the people who are running a illegitimate business. Because off air, we were kind of talking about it, where you mentioned majority of the people that are operating some sort of business aren't really in business. They're just working to make money.
Yes. And that's in every industry. That's just my belief. Because
no, they're not operating a business. They're just there to make money.
Yes.
Because if it was a business, you'd have employees, you'd have payroll, you'd have certain expenses. It would be an actual operation, a machine, well-oiled, well-tuned, that would possibly be operating for more than 5 years. But these people are in it and out just to make a quick buck. How much is a G-Wagon payment now? $2,000?
No, more than that.
2,300?
The 63 or the 550 or 580, whatever it is now.
It's a 550, isn't it?
Look, this is 63. You're looking at about 200 plus markup, 230, 240, 250, depending on the package.
So how many hospices, how many patients do you have to sign up to drive one of those? These people are just they're working to live for today.
But see, the thing is, the system is designed for that too. That's the unfortunate thing about it, because like there was one patient where some wound care agency had billed $4 million of wound care on one patient. You mean to tell me like CMS, which is Medicare, does not have a system somewhere where like a red light goes off saying, like wound care, after $40,000, maybe we should really audit this patient and see what kind of wound is it? Is it the Grand Canyon now we're dealing with? What are we dealing with? Like, so you allowed someone to bill $4 million before you actually like
everybody's got severe eczema.
You know what I mean? So the system is built for people to cheat the system, unfortunately. Otherwise, you don't think they have the systems in place where they'll be like, okay, this is how much, anything above this threshold, we're going to send you a request records. Anything above this, we're going to request these records. Anything above that. If I can tell just by driving by exactly how those businesses operate, you don't think those guys know exactly what's going on?
What I'm curious about is, all right, you begin the billing process, right? And XYZ hospice care gets a check and then another check and another check and another check and another check. All right, you know what? The year's over. You had this many patients. As you said, there's a certain threshold, right, that they have to meet.
Threshold is, you're talking about the cap? Or
yes, the cap that they have to meet, right?
Well, you don't have to meet it. That's the maximum.
Oh, that's the maximum. Okay. It's not a minimum.
So let me explain it. Let's say you have 10 patients.
Okay.
So that means the most you can bill is 34,000 times 10, right?
Okay.
So $340,000.
Correct.
you're gonna in the county of LA, you're gonna meet that $34,000 within like the first 4 months or so. It's not even 6 months because LA County pays at a higher rate. So you reach that $34,000 mark in about 4.5 months.
You're giving people ideas, but
That means if these patients all live a year, let's say round numbers, 70,000 for each. That's $700,000, right?
Okay.
Next year, Medicare, you have to submit a mandatory audit, and Medicare looks at it and says, you only had 10 patients, but you billed $700,000 of only $340,000 was allowed. That's your cap. So you have to pay us back $360,000. And that's another reason why a lot of them go out of business, because they'll get hit with a bill for $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, depending on how many patients they've billed and surpassed the cap. And how are they supposed to pay back, $1 million?
Okay, so they get billed, for example. They've spent all that money. Then what?
Then they just close down.
Oh, interesting.
Or you can get on a payment, like a 2, 3 year, 1 year payment plan.
Under who? Your personal name or the business's name?
No, the business name through Medicare. Medicare will finance it for you at 12.3%, whatever.
Okay, but if the business just shuts down and says, "Hey, listen, we can't,"
then you're okay. Then
fantastic. This is amazing for the California taxpayers.
Well, it's not California taxpayers because it's federally funded. Medicare is a federal program, not state. Medi-Cal, Medicaid is a state program.
Does Medi-Cal pay any of this?
No,
it's all Medicaid. So it's all federally funded.
Okay. Medi-Cal does have a hospice benefit as well, and so do like the LA Cares and the Health Nets and all these other guys.
So you're talking about trillions of federal funding coming into California at this point. Then
I wouldn't say trillions.
So
no.
how much would it be?
In the tens of billions, but not trillions. No, I mean the whole.
Well, no, I'm not talking about only hospice though. I'm talking about home health. I'm talking about hospice. I'm talking about childcare. I'm talking about anything.
It still can't be trillions because the whole economy is what 4-point-something trillion.
Because we have the figures.
Yeah, because there was a website that we pulled up. Joe, can you really quickly pull up that website? Again, I don't know how accurate this is, but I came across this website about a couple days ago, and it talks about childcare. It talks about home health care and all that stuff, and how much funding is actually coming in. And again, don't quote us on this. I don't know exactly how much of it is actually, if it's for the year, if it's all time. But Joe, can you go to California? Did you go to California?
Yeah, I'm in California, but let me switch it up to childcare. Or
no, don't go to childcare.
Okay, never mind.
What is this on right now?
That's what I was trying to figure out. Give me one second.
All right, so go back.
Well, it's all entities.
Okay, so
childcare,
no.
nursing homes.
Armand, what would you do it under? As far as what would hospice fall under? Would it fall under any of those categories?
The childcare,
nursing homes.
I mean, nursing homes would be the closest thing.
H-1B employers,
PPP, SBA. Let's go to. You know what? Let's go to nursing home.
Okay.
And let's go to California is pretty bright. Let's go to California.
I mean, Texas is not far behind.
Yeah, Texas is right behind it.
No, actually, it's even.
But us living in California, let's kind of look at Cali and see what the numbers are. Because this is why I asked, is it in the trillions being funded into the state? Oh, so it says 5.7 trillion.
Government spending tracked, but on what government spending?
See, that's what we kind of want to understand. Is it annually? Is it like all time? It can't be all time. There's no way it's all time.
I mean, if you look at the California's,
let me stop this and come back to you guys.
Yeah, come back to us.
Go ahead.
What's the California's GDP is barely that 4-point-some trillion, right? And if you look at it's the state spending expenditures, approximately, it says here roughly about 321 billion. So you can't have 4.7 or what was that? 5.7,
5.76
yeah,
trillion.
5.7 trillion in federal funding. That doesn't add up.
So then that website is incorrect.
Something doesn't add up there.
Maybe it's just a Somalis, since that's Somalis can.
Seriously.
Maybe it's a Somali.
So if we were let's say for example, how much you said Medicare, right? How
Yeah.
much how would you word it on, for example,
Even the Medicare benefit overall, right? Look, annual Medicare spending nationwide.
no, not nationwide. Let's do California.
No, I want to demonstrate that that's not even going to be 5.7 trillion. In 2024, Medicare spending grew 7.8% to 1.18 trillion. Right?
So okay, what I see here is recent Medicare share of health spending. So in 2023 and 2024, state reporting updated indicates that Medicare accounts statewide for healthcare expenditures in California for the year of 2023-2024 amounting roughly $112 billion.
Yeah, see, that makes sense.
And that's just for 1 year.
Yeah, that makes sense. Not 5.7 trillion.
Okay, so okay, yeah, it does make sense. Nationally, total Medicare spending reached about $1.1 trillion. And that's for 2024. We don't have the numbers for 2025.
Which was about 21% of overall national health spending, because Medicare is not obviously 100%.
So, but you said it's federally funded, right?
Medicare is, yes.
Medicare is
not
federally
hospice necessarily, but
Medicare.
Yes.
Medicare is federally funded. Where is that funding coming from? As far as how is the United States government calculating that money and saying, okay, you know what, California, we're going to send this much. Texas, is the money coming from taxpayers though?
Where that money is coming from, I mean, we could speculate. Is it taxpayer money? Is it just money they're borrowing out of thin air and just increasing it in increasing our debt? I don't know where that money is coming from. But as far as how do the states receive it? The states receive it based on their population, based on the population and the needs. If there's 40 some million people in California and X amount of seniors, then the expectation is whatever it is, $100 billion in Medicare funding to provide care for all of these 65 and older patients in California.
Are you getting pushback from Medicare at all?
Pushback as in like reimbursements?
Possibly, or maybe them kind of questioning your billing?
Look, you can be questioned at any point. They have the right to audit you at any time, any point. The health department can show up and investigate anytime they want.
The only reason why I'm asking is because of everything going on right now. Are they looking at your hospice and saying, "Yep, there's a YAN there. I want to find out what's going on"?
No, not necessarily. They're not. But again, I don't know what their judgment is. They could be looking at it and being like, okay, this provider has been around for 3 years. This provider has been around for 6 years. This one for 20 years. Well, maybe the 20-year-old is doing something right because we haven't had any issues. But this 3-year-old, there's been a lot of ups and downs. So they have matrix they can look at. They know everything about you.
Well, it's affecting our industry as well because obviously being in real estate, you help with certain businesses acquire spaces for leases. Hospices, home health, wound cares, nursing homes, all that stuff. Rehab centers, absolutely. And now, unfortunately, a lot of landlords now are telling us that, hey, listen, if it's a hospice, if it's a home health, anything that had to do with healthcare, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I don't want to be involved in it. Go find yourself another space. So now the people that are running and operating a legitimate business are shit out of luck because of the incompetence and the greed of other business owners.
But I would imagine that could be overcome as well. I mean, if you show a track record of, look, I've been here for X amount of years and this is my track record. I'm looking to expand. I need a satellite office here. I'm getting a new provider. I don't see why a building owner would give any issue.
I mean, you say that right now, but now instead of finding a space, locking it up for a client, it's become much more of a difficult process. Now it's like kind of like for every 10 properties we show, maybe one of them may be open to seeing exactly what you just said, the track record.
Because there was a point in time where even, for example, when you start a hospice, right, you have to show that you have a contract with the pharmacy, DME provider, and all this. So there came a point where a lot of pharmacies and DME providers were not even willing to give a contract to a new licensee because they knew it was like a fly-by-night operation or whatnot. So these challenges have always been around as far as you having to show, listen, I'm legit. This is why I want your contract. Because just like in any industry, right, there's been a lot of providers who go work with this pharmacy, order $20, $30, $50,000 worth of stuff and then never pay their bills, or pay for a couple months and then increase that bill and never pay for it. I mean, because it's usually like a net 30 or whatever their agreement is, their terms are. But I think, again, with anything, there's a work around it, just because even today, they're like, well, it's tough to get commercial or construction loans. Yes, it's tough. But if you can show your finances, your bank statements in one dot, and you could give them a trajectory, pro forma of what the purpose is, everything is fundable these days.
No, I think it's a good idea for it to be tough to get any sort of loan. I'm glad that these banks and lenders are going through people's finances with a fine comb.
Everything should have a barrier to entry, because the unfortunate thing is, listen, guys, every industry you could make money if you stick to it long enough, if you truly are dedicated to your craft. You don't have to jump on the on the bandwagon just because so and so you heard is making a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there. Don't jump on the bandwagons, man, because it's like, you hear these musicians jumping into healthcare. You don't see healthcare administrators playing clarinet on the weekends. And I'm a musician, but you don't see me playing accordion at the bride's house Saturday morning. Stick to your craft. It's okay to invest, to have passive income, but we all need passive income to be able to eventually retire. But don't jump in onto the next big thing, and it's just stick to what you know. And because look, healthcare is a very, very complex business, man. Like, you truly need to be you have to understand what you're reading, be able to apply it, interpret it, and there's way too many regulations. It's not just like, okay, we'll just run it. It's not a sandwich shop.
You're dealing with people's lives.
There's too many things to deal with. So you really have to be also garaget in a sense. I'm not saying I'm garaget, but
Garaget meaning educated.
Educated, yeah, meaning you have to at least be able to read the condition of participations and the regulations and all that. And because I could give it to an attorney could read it, but they don't know how to apply this in healthcare. They could just understand what it says. But so you have to have that sense of knowledge at least. But
But I mean, speaking of musicians, let's kind of jump into our next topic. But before we jump into our next topic, Joe, can we go to our ads really quickly for our sponsors?
Absolutely.
Before we jump into that?
If you've been injured in a car accident, trip and fall, nerve, muscle, joint, any sort of pain at all, hit up Dr. Rafi. He'll take care of everything from A to Z. What's the number at?
818-407-0007.
And tell him the WiseNuts sent you.
I am.
Son of a...
What the hell was that, bro?
You okay?
Yeah, man. Oh, Megeredchian Law. We should call Alex.
If you've been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or work injury, reach out to Megeredchian Law today.
At Megeredchian Law, we maximize your compensation, you get constant client communication, and we win when it matters most.
I love how he smiles.
What a smile there, Mr. Megeredchian.
We're going to Mexico next week, right?
Are we?
I don't know. Are we? Can I bring this up? Can I bring this up? Kind of get everybody's intake on this before we go to the next.
Anonymously.
Oh yeah, anonymous. I'm not going to name drop.
Yeah.
All right. So
somebody who happens to have the.
We're not going to say who. All right. So an individual and myself were having a conversation about Mexico and the border and all that stuff. This particular individual said that they can easily cross over to Mexico and return back to the United States with just a driver's license.
By the way, these two individuals half the time get into arguments like they've been married for 35 years.
Well, we've known each other for 35 years.
Yeah, I guess might as well.
But I said, and again, whoever's watching this live, by the way, we're on Rumble as well. Whether you're watching us on Rumble, on X, on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever it is, I said today, you cannot cross over into Mexico and come back with just a United or California driver's license. You have to have a passport. They said, on the other hand, I don't need a United States passport.
So he identifies as they, or he said?
They.
They, okay.
They. We don't want to say if they're male or female.
Oh, not even that.
That's what, okay. He said that you can cross over with just a driver's license back into America once you cross over the border to Mexico. So we have somewhat of a friendly wager that may or may not take place. We don't know yet, but
why wouldn't it take place?
Well, I said, let's go to Mexico, cross over the border. You cannot bring your passport with you. All you bring is your driver's license.
Yes.
And let's see how easily you'll cross back over.
You didn't say easily.
He said easily.
He said, I'll cross over. I'll walk.
Yes. And he said, and I'll easily come back over.
And we said, as long as they don't put you in immigration jail for,
And as long as you don't swim across.
I think in today's
immigration climate.
Yeah, I was about to say, in today's immigration climate, I really don't think you're going to be crossing over that easily. They're going to put you through.
What's
hell.
the wager?
Dinner with the boys.
So the loser pays
dinner
for the dinner.
Yeah.
So either way, Joe, we're having
good. We're
nice dinner. And some of our circle of friends are having dinner. So it's a win-win for us, huh, Vic?
We haven't had dinner with the boys in a while, so might as well take advantage of it. I like my steak medium rare.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll see how that pans out. But congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks on winning Super Bowl. What was it, 60?
Yeah.
Very boring game.
I think the guy, the punter, kicker, broke the record. For
He should have gotten the MVP.
Who ended up getting it? I don't even know.
Walker.
Walker Jr. or Walker the third?
I really do think the kicker should have gotten the MVP.
Well, he had 5 field goals. That was first 15 points, no?
No. Was it 5 or 4?
5.
5 field goals. There you go.
It was, because it was 15 and then they got the 7. It was 22 and whatever it was.
I mean, he essentially won the game for that. But anyways, game was boring. Halftime show was even boring-er, if that's a word to put, if that's the actual word. But Bad Bunny was playing at the halftime show. Performing at the halftime show. And it was a very, very interesting halftime show based off of what we saw on TV and what the people at the stadium saw. Now, mind you, I think it was a great performance. He did a great job with the camera angles, the cut scenes. Mind you, I didn't understand what he was saying as far as the music. I don't speak Spanish, but a majority of it did sound like mumbling. But anyways, he brought the whole, the unity of the Latin American countries in America and all that stuff. We saw 2 men grinding each other next to a car. We saw another man grab his groin and pretend it was something else. But anyways, they did a phenomenal job making it seem like, oh my God, this was the greatest halftime show that we've ever seen in our lives.
Well, it was ranked second right after Prince's.
Based on who?
I don't know.
120 million people tuned in to watch the halftime show.
Yes.
220 million people tuned in to watch the World Series with the Dodgers. That's a massive number difference.
I would expect Super Bowl to be bigger, though.
220 million people tuned in to watch the Dodgers win the World Series. Tell what is it? Say it.
Because of the highest World Series, because you're forgetting Canada. Canada was the team in Canada. So there's at least a couple of...
Oh, is that why the Dodgers?
Okay, Canada has like 14 people.
Yeah.
I mean,
one of the highest because of Canada tuned in also.
Okay. And But isn't the Super Bowl the world championship? Bro, they were showing people watching in Germany. They were showing people watching in Canada. Where else was it? All over South America, everywhere. They were showing people watching everywhere. Regardless of it, they did an amazing job with the cutscenes. They did an amazing job with the production of it. But I do not consider that a halftime show. That was not a halftime show. The people that were at the stadium who paid thousands of dollars for tickets could not see what that show was. You go back in time and you watch halftime show. Michael Jackson, even recently, Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, right? All these guys had halftime shows. They were performing for the crowd. This was a performance for people at home.
Yes, because, yeah, you're right. Watching it on TV, the performance, I think, was
great production.
Great, amazing production. I don't know if I would agree with some of the dancing and all that stuff.
Joe, do we have a clip, right?
We have a clip, but we have a clip of the stand, so you could actually see what people were really doing.
Yeah, well, we'll see. That'll tell you enough of why the people were acting that way, because they couldn't see shit.
Pretty much.
You couldn't see anything. Can you play that clip first real quick, Joe?
I got two of them, for sure. So we have another one as well. Give me one
Can we play that one too?
Yeah. Literally nobody was dancing.
I think it was a game of where's Waldo at this point, because they were trying, or where's Bunny? They were looking for him on stage, if you could even call it a stage. Again, it was a phenomenal performance on TV, but I don't consider that a halftime show. That was not a halftime show.
Yeah, because the halftime show is also usually engaging for the live audience there who've paid thousands of dollars to watch the game and, you know, be present during the halftime show. But what honestly kind of, look, it seemed like Bad Bunny had good intentions, and even with the football at the end where it said, America, we are together, you know, on the football, there was a logo like that. I think he was trying to bring different cultures, different countries together. But the music was just honestly obnoxious. For me, understanding music, to me, that was not music. The lyrics, forget about it. I mean, he was just mumbling. I don't know who's worse, Joe Biden on the podium or Bad Bunny performing. I couldn't, I seriously, I'm not trying to be cute. Like I had no idea what he was singing.
It was mumbling.
There's no melody. It's just a bunch of beats. No melody that you could even try to relate to. So I don't understand what the hype is about with this guy.
And it's funny, some of the music that he picked up was from Charles Aznavour.
Yeah, one of the
violin.
It,
yeah, the beginning of it. But
that was probably the only part of the whole performance where the music had some melody to it.
Yeah, the rest of it was just and
on the same key, like like if you give it, you know, if you open the keyboard and you 2-year-old, you're like, okay, just continue on one note, you know, do or whatever, A, however you guys know it. Then but
a lot of the Latin American community were saying, hey, white people, don't worry about it. We don't even understand what he's saying.
Yeah, like for example, right now, if you look at Josh, he mentioned, even as someone who speaks Spanish, it's super hard to understand him, LOL. And he has super thick accent.
But Levick mentioned how Tim Cook had a lot of influence over, you know, him being picked as the performer.
Right there.
Due to the fact that he's the highest money making, I guess, artist
for Apple and
Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's basically majority of Latin America is downloading his music. That's why.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know, man. I don't. Have you seen some of the lyrics for his music?
For the first time yesterday, I went on YouTube because I was trying to find at least one video where it had some melody to it that I could be like, okay, yeah, I can connect to this one a little bit. I couldn't.
So there's this one song he has called, I guess it's called Vatican. Have you guys seen the lyrics for that one?
No.
No.
I don't know if we should even read it out loud though, but it's. I'm gonna do a portion. I'm gonna read a portion of the lyrics for this one really quickly, and it's pretty bad. I mean, let me translate it to English. Hold on, very quickly. One second.
In Los Angeles. Hold on. There was another thing also from here.
What is it?
No, go ahead and do your thing. But
No, I'm looking. You read whatever you got to read.
The 2025 World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and Toronto Blue Jays was historic 7-game viewership success, averaging 51 million viewers for Game 7 across the U.S., Canada, and Japan.
And that's just Game 7, bro.
Yeah, but that's the numbers you mentioned are not correct.
What do you mean?
In 2025, World Series was 15.7 million. Super Bowl was 127.7. 2024 World Series was 15.8. Super Bowl was 120 million.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me pull up that stat.
Maybe you're looking at if combined all 7 games at a total viewership of 251 million. There's no way World Series cannot.
So the reports say that the Super Bowl drew in 130 million views. The Dodgers drew in 240 million viewers.
Yes, throughout the 7-game series, maybe.
Winning back to back. It doesn't say 7-game series.
Well, that's what it's one game.
This is what the stat was saying. Again, it might. You're right. It might be for the entire series itself, but again, it doesn't say it.
You're a numbers guy. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I'm a numbers guy.
Well, I mean, you're in real estate.
Yes, but this is. I'm basically reading it verbatim as far as what it says worldwide.
It's like Super Bowl has always been the most watched game, other than maybe World Cup.
The World Cup.
You know, so I can't imagine baseball being double what Super Bowl is. That just doesn't add up.
This is a stat that I was reading off of.
Especially because Super Bowl is one game, World Series could be up to 7 games. So maybe best case scenario, 7 games combined. I don't think they would have had 250.
Anyways, so for the middle-aged moms who are dancing to Bad Bunny at their Zumba classes with their instructors, here's some of the lyrics translated into English. Yes, don't bother. No, don't mind. I hope you dream of me when you go to bed. I give it to the snobby girls. I give it to the hood girls. Single mom like Leisha. Again, I don't know who Leisha is. I kiss like Valina. I don't know who Valina is. I kiss like Tokisha. I don't know who that is. But whoever does it like this, hey, why not? Here's where it gets bad. My God, forgive me, because once again I sinned. She's horny. I know. Let's fuck. I know. Oh my God, forgive me. Maybe my music is not healthy, but I did not invent sex or marijuana. Damn those who criticize me. Damn those who criticize me. We're doing boy, and that stings them. I mean, it's nonsense.
I mean, maybe it sounds better when he sings it.
Nobody can understand it anyway, so they're like,
sounds good. The waitress and the preacher. Oh, mommy, she's very rich. Send me a photo of young Mika. That's me. That got me overthink. I mean, it's just. Oh, listen to this one. 3 fingers in the PUSSY, in the ass, my pinky.
fantastic.
He won a Grammy. He won a Grammy.
Doesn't take much nowadays, apparently.
Apparently not. But again,
it's a popularity contest. It's not a talent contest anymore. It hasn't been for the longest while. So if you can get eyeballs, they'll put you on stage.
You know what? Jelly Roll won a Grammy, and I would love to have him.
Who's Jelly Roll? These people.
He's a country singer.
He's a country singer with
Yes.
that name?
Yes.
Jelly Roll. I
So,
want to see him.
Bro, if you hear his story, it's unbelievable, man. What he went through,
Oh, this guy. I
Yeah.
remember him. Yeah.
what he went through, what he overcame, and obviously what he got out of it. I would love to have Jelly Roll here, bro. Jelly Roll, if you're watching, man, we would love to have you on the podcast. But he deserved the Grammy. He really, truly deserved the Grammy for what he went through, the story, and obviously his music. Later, buddy. But
See you in Mexico.
see you in Mexico. No passport. But anyways, yeah. That we'd love to get everybody's feedback. What did you guys think of the Super Bowl halftime show? Would you consider that a halftime show? Yes or no?
With all the stuff going on, I believe the numbers are less on this one because who's really caring about the Super Bowl as much as all the news that came out this week?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I lost interest in that halftime show probably 15 minutes. Well, not 15 minutes, but like 15 to 20 seconds later because I was like, bro, I'm not understanding anything he's saying, and it's just a bunch of people grinding each other.
Yeah. I didn't even watch.
You didn't watch it at all?
No, not at all.
Well, Turning Point had their own Super Bowl halftime show.
Of course they did.
Yeah, but anyways. All right. Let's really quickly go to the sponsors, and then we're gonna go to Jeffrey Epstein.
Son of a.
What the hell was that, bro?
You okay?
Yeah, man. Oh, Megeredchian Law. We should call Alex.
If you've been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or work injury, reach out to Megeredchian Law today.
At Megeredchian Law, we maximize your compensation, you get constant client communication, and we win when it matters most.
If you've been injured in a car accident, trip and fall, nerve, muscle, joint, any sort of pain at all, hit up Dr. Rafi. He'll take care of everything from A to Z. What's the number at?
818-407-0007.
And tell him the WiseNuts sent you.
You're on.
All right. So a lot has been going on with the Jeffrey Epstein files. For the past year now, everybody's been asking, when are they releasing the files? When are they releasing the files? When are we going to get more information about Jeffrey Epstein? And just recently, a couple days ago, over, 3 million? 3 million files or emails
Around 3 million emails. Yeah.
were released. Now, when you do go through these emails and you see the context of what's in there, majority of it has been redacted. There's so much black lines all over these pages where the DOJ has gone through and just kind of redacted, where you're just like, all right, so what is really going on with these emails? What is really going on with these files? Who are these people? Where are these names? Why can't we see it? These are questions we're asking. Will we ever get the answers to it? Nobody really knows. We don't know if we'll ever see those black lines removed. Now, there are certain hackers who have spoken on Reddit saying that they're in the process of what would you say, unredacting
Yes. Well,
the emails or the black lines?
They were unredacting it, but in a particular way. I guess some emails were not properly redacted, meaning the black line that was on there was placed through a PDF.
Oh, so they can be removed, basically?
Yes, and they were able to be removed, but that's only a few, and who knows which ones.
So there's multiple websites that people are going to see all these emails. One of them was the J email,
Yeah,
right?
this is amazing.
So-
This one is great.
So the J email one is where we kind of went through it, and there's literally it looks like a Gmail. Joe,
Well-
can you pull it up really quickly so people could see what it looks like?
Yeah, so technically it's like you're logging into his Gmail.
Yeah, literally. It looks like it's his actual email address. It says, hello, Jeffrey. And then you have it categorized as far as people's names there, from, Maxine to
Can you
Elon
compose
Musk.
an email actually or no?
No,
No.
It won't let you compose.
That you can't do. It's made in a, I guess, an HTML format where it's all just clickable. but you can't compose anything. You can't send anything. You could just view everything. Now, there are photos in here. There's emails in here, back and forth. These are the photos. You have the Clintons in there.
These are the redacted.
Yeah. So the black ones are the redacted photos. These we can't see. I mean, no matter what you try, you can't see any of them. Obviously, there's children's faces that have been blacked out. We don't know who the children are. A lot of people have said that, you know what, they're family members of his that's one of the reasons why they've been redacted. One of the pictures with Michael Jackson on the airplane, right? With
I'm trying to find
with Jeffrey Epstein. It was Michael Jackson's kids' faces who were redacted.
What's this one?
Yeah, there you go. That's the one. So that's with Diana Ross, actually. So it's Diana Ross, it's Bill Clinton, it's Michael Jackson. And those two, the faces there are actually Michael Jackson's children whose faces have been redacted. So, oh God, I know. Look, when you look at this, picture it like this. We don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is, right? And this particular email address happens to land in your lap. You'll look at this and say, all right, you know what? It's just some guy's kind of Google Drive. And he's got a bunch of pictures with several people.
Who's that?
Which one? I have no idea. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea.
You could even download these, by the way. It's
yes.
crazy.
Yeah, you could download all of them. It's basically all available. Now, when we went through all of this and we noticed that you can actually obviously command find and search for certain names. There were emails there that had individuals mentioned. I mean, Joe, what was it? Thousands of times?
Yeah, roughly thousands of times.
Yeah, thousands of times. Now, a couple of these people's names. Edu Barak. We'll get into who he is. Peter Thiel, or Peter Thiel. We'll get into who he is as well. Leon Black, Eli Black, and who else was there, Joe? There was another one.
Ronald Lauder.
Yeah, Ronald Lauder, who's Ronald Lauder as well. So everybody's been kind of looking at the Epstein files through Twitter and X and TikTok, saying, "Oh, there's pictures of children, Baal, the satanic,
where they would sacrifice the children,
children to it, intestine eating, baby sacrificing, all that stuff." So far, I haven't found anything like that in there. A lot of it is code wording to each other. Now, it could either be them speaking in code or just messing around. The biggest thing that we saw right now is those particular names tying into each other. But Joe, what were the code words that they were using as far as for...
Let me bring that up.
For kids and stuff? This was the weird stuff. So these words were mentioned multiple times in a lot of the emails. Hot dog, which equated to boy. Pizza, which equated to girl. Cheese pizza, which was little girl.
Or cheese.
Pasta was little boy. Ice cream was male prostitute. Walnut was person of color. Map was semen?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
And then sauce was orgy. And then recently we found out that jerky meant human flesh.
Yeah, so that one I have a video on of an explanation.
Yeah, but again, this is still alleged, right? None of this is like confirmed.
I mean, they're referencing something. I don't know. You have to be the judge at this point. But it's pretty clear. I mean, when you read it, it's kind of clear that they're not talking about pizza and they're not talking about hot dogs. So,
well, one thing that we want to tie into this whole pizza thing is a lot of the individuals who were tied to Jeffrey Epstein were very powerful individuals, billionaires, Hollywood influencers, actors, producers, directors. In fact, at the Oscars in 2014, there was a video that a lot of people, I don't know why people haven't spoken about this, but the 2014 Oscars was hosted by Ellen DeGeneres. Midway through the Oscars, she got hungry and she ordered pizza. And began to hand it out to celebrities. We have the video.
I'm thinking that this was an inside joke for sure.
That's what we're thinking right now. Nobody's spoken about this, but ordering pizza and then handing out to celebrities. And the worst part of all this was the person who paid for the pizza was Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein is now serving in jail for sex trafficking, basically, or at least prostitution, where he allegedly
Sexual assault.
Allegedly had sex with multiple people without their consent. But Joe, can we play this video?
Crazy idea that I will order pizza. And so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer? Yes? Harrison?
Turning the Oscars into an everyone's invited dinner party with dinner.
What do you think? Julia wants cheese. Who's your favorite movie star? They're here. Well, who do you want to talk to? Oh.
And then passing a very famous hat to pay the delivery guy.
What do you have, Harvey? 200?
200.
That's a
Does that
start.
cover it?
That's a
So
Typical. $200.
yeah, I mean,
And he's anyway.
yeah. So this is what a lot of people are now saying. It was them mocking everybody right in front of our eyes. Now, again, this is all alleged. We don't know if those actual words mean what they are saying.
Well, if you remember during that, right after those awards, there was a lot of conspiracy around it, and it was publicized where what's
Pizzagate?
Well, the Pizzagate, and then John Legend's wife. What's her name?
I know who you're talking about.
You know, they found some. Whether it was Twitter posts or Instagram posts of her, you know, ordering pizza, and kind of it had that subliminal messages and hidden coded messages like you guys are discussing. So
Chrissy Teigen.
yes,
Chrissy Teigen mentioned something about the party with the Obamas, and then John Legend was like, "I don't want to talk about that. Like, let's not bring that up." And then you could see from the look on her face that she was like, "Holy crap! Like, did I say something I wasn't supposed to say?"
Yeah.
What'd you get? Chrissy Teigen is known to be very unhinged, but I don't know if we should kind of jump into those actual emails, because look, a lot of the stuff is redacted stuff, and everything is allegedly because of nothing being factual and us not seeing who they're talking about. But the individuals where we spoke about who are in this list that we're talking about here, those emails are not redacted, and it's this massive spider web that connects to Jeffrey Epstein and very, 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 very elite people. And when you go back in time, you say, okay, who is Jeffrey Epstein? Because that's the big question we have. Who is Jeffrey Epstein? How did he become so wealthy? How did he become so powerful? How did he get connected to so many celebrities, influencers, billionaires? And when you go back in time, you see that he's the first person that, or major person that he was connected to, was Adu Barak.
This guy.
This is the guy. Adu Barak is, okay, so Adu Barak was the prime minister of Israel prior to Netanyahu. The United States, as a lot of you know, is kind of a bipartisan system. You have the right, you have the left, the Democrats, the Republicans. It's the same thing in Israel. They have the left and they have the right. Adu Barak was the prime minister of Israel. He was a former IDF chief of staff. He was the defense minister under Netanyahu. Okay. And then later on, vocally, he became an opponent to Netanyahu. Netanyahu is the right wing. Barak is the left wing. Barak and Epstein made a very good connection together. And Barak basically hired Epstein to be, I guess you would call it a consultant with him. And there was money that was exchanged between Barak and Epstein to infiltrate California, specifically Silicon Valley, and use Epstein as I guess you would call him a mole, because he was well connected and he was a master finance guy. But how Epstein became a master finance guy is he was basically a math teacher who weaseled his way into politics. Now,
what has he ever financed?
nothing. That's the thing.
Master finance guy who's never financed or made a single trade in his life.
A lot of people have allegedly said that Jeffrey Epstein was part of Mossad. Now, Netanyahu has publicly come out and said that Jeffrey Epstein is not part of Mossad. In fact, the fact that Jeffrey Epstein was butt buddies with Adu Barak tells you that he was not part of Mossad.
Why was Mossad not around when Adu Barak was in power?
No, Mossad worked for the right wing. There was another intelligence agency that worked for the left wing, which is what Barak and Epstein were part of. In fact, there was claims that, this I'll tell you right now. So Barak and Netanyahu did work together, but Adu Barak worked more for the IDF than he did for Mossad. So the defense ministry, or Israel's defense ministry. So now, look, there's a lot of names that are going to be mentioned here, but so far there is no proof of Epstein being part of Mossad itself. The next thing, I'll tell you right now.
But even if he was part of Mossad, why would there ever be any evidence of him being part of him? That's the whole point.
And anybody who's been part of Mossad, it's public record. You could see it. And the fact that Netanyahu has come out and said that he was never part of Mossad, it tells you that Barak and Netanyahu.
And you believe that anybody that's been part of
again,
Mossad
this is what's out there right now. Look, as time goes on, more and more stories are going to come out. But for right now,
no, it's not a story thing. You believe the story that everybody who's been part of Mossad is public record?
I don't know.
Everybody that's been part of KGB is public record?
I don't know.
Everybody that's been part of CIA is public record?
I don't know.
And last person I'd believe is Satan himself.
Okay, so let's do this now. As far as moving on to the next individual, Joe, was it the who was the other name that we were talking about?
We have Leon Black. We have Eli Black, which is his father.
Okay, so let's go to Leon Black really quickly. So Leon Black.
They even said ruthless.
Who said it? Oh, there you go. Okay. Leon Black is the co-founder of Apollo Global Management, one of the most powerful private equity firms out there. Now, Epstein was hired as an advisor for Leon Black. He was placed on the board for Apollo Global Management. Black paid Epstein over $100 million to basically as hush money.
Consulting fee, no? For tax advice or some type of advice.
Well, it was all basically, they said it was blackmail money. That's what it was. Black said that those payments were for taxes and estate planning, but Black was actually accused of sexually assaulting a Russian model, which he denied later. Epstein allegedly helped structure and finance the settlement, and obviously was staying quiet during multiple sexual allegations that Black was facing.
Did Epstein also receive like a $75 million penthouse or something in New York?
That was with another individual, which we'll get to.
Or wasn't I thought it was from Leon Black.
No, it was with somebody else. We'll get to that as well. So at this point, Black and Epstein were working hand in hand together, and Black actually gave him his little black book. Let me put it to you that way: of all the individuals that he was that Leon Black was associated with. Now, when you go back in time and you try to find out who Leon Black is the son of Eli Black. Joe, can you pull up Eli Black's Wikipedia?
Well, he's right here.
Oh, that's it.
But yeah, I could bring up.
Okay, well, don't worry about his Wikipedia right now. Then, okay, so Eli Black again. This is a lot of information, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. But okay, so Eli Black was the CEO of United Fruit Company, a company that basically dealt with South America and Europe distributing fruit. It was CIA backed, and there was a lot of Latin American political push as well. Eli Black was involved in a $1.25 million bribe scandal, which he was caught for. After he was caught in 1975, he basically committed suicide. He killed himself. I think it was in New York, right? Where was it? Where did he commit suicide again? He jumped off of a building, basically.
Must have been New York. I guess.
Yeah, he jumped off of a building. He killed himself. So that tells you that who these individuals are connected to and what type of people they are. They're crooks. They go around and they manipulate and they bribe people. Now, Leon Black also connected Jeffrey Epstein to another individual, Les Wexner. This is where the townhouse comes into play. Les Wexner is the founder of L Brands, which is part of Victoria's Secrets and Bath and Body Works. Joe, can you pull up a picture of Les Wexner?
Yeah, I just did.
Did you?
This is him with Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, so that's the guy.
And then this is a close-up.
One of America's...
Is that Bill Gates? I don't know.
Yeah, that is Bill Gates. One of America's wealthiest men. Again, Les gave Epstein his Rolodex, literally. He gave him power of attorney over all of his financials. He gave him total control over his trust. The private planes that you see Jeffrey Epstein flying in, those are all Les's planes, and the properties. Now, going back to the New York penthouse, that was Les Rexman's penthouse. He gave it to him for practically nothing.
Where I think that's where Edu Barak spent, maybe years. Just
back and forth.
Back and forth and roommating and whatever.
And that's just Edu Barak. Yeah. Not to mention the Rolodex that came with it. All those individuals. Look, these are billionaires who are connected to insane people. And this is why when you talk about the left and the right as far as politics is concerned, right? This is all taking place in the 90s and in the 2000s, where you see the Bill Gates, the Bill Clintons, the Hollywood stars. And where are all these Hollywood stars? They're always to the left. That's why you see a lot of these individuals from the Democratic Party always with Epstein. You saw the pictures with Bill Clinton and Bill Gates and all those stuff. So as all this is going on, it's leading to the early 2000s now. Wexner claims that Epstein has stolen a bunch of money from him, used him for a bunch of financial gain, and ends up firing Epstein immediately. And at this point, their ties are completely cut. But at the same time, the Rolodex is in Epstein's hand. He's got all his connections that he needed. Which leads to another individual that connected with Epstein via Les Wexner, Ronald Lauder. Now, this is basically the heir to Estee Lauder He's the heir to Estee Lauder. Former U.S. ambassador to Austria, major political donor, and basically deep, deep pockets in Israel.
Don't you love his logo in the back?
There it is.
Yep.
Yes. Now, Lauder was very, very low key. No criminal record, no confirmed allegations, no fraud, but the Rolodex came with it. He was connected, well connected, and he introduced Mr. Jeffrey Epstein to some very, very, very interesting individuals. Joe, can we pull up the other names really quickly?
Peter Thiel, maybe?
Yes. So
there you go, Palantir.
So Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is one of the co-founders of PayPal. He was basically Elon Musk's right-hand man. Peter Thiel also had another company that he created called Palantir. Palantir is it's basically an AI-generated software where it controls algorithms as well. And Palantir bought out another company, which one was it, Joe?
So Palantir is a facial recognition company. And
Yeah, but isn't it an algorithm company?
it's an algorithm, yet at the same time, it's with facial recognition. So it leads us to this one article. No, not article, but a little bit of research we did, and we tied it all together.
Which one? Okay.
So basically what you're explaining, it's all going to tie together, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So Palantir is like you said, okay, it's an algorithm and it's a facial recognition program. They acquired another company, which again, this is going to be massively important to everybody. But when your children go out there and you want to talk about Shutterfly? Is that what it is?
Yeah. So you want to break it down a little bit clearer?
Okay. Palantir bought Shutterfly.
No, it's
what is it then?
So here, let me well, yes and no. So here's the map, right? So LifeTouch right now, LifeTouch was the company that pretty much was responsible for 50% of the U.S. schools photos. So all those old men that would come and take pictures of your kids, and they would essentially, meaning for like the yearbook and whatnot, it was LifeTouch, and 25% they have of global rights to the photos. So LifeTouch was purchased by Shutterfly in 2018, and it was acquired for $825 million, right? It's a facial so pretty much that's Shutterfly. And then Apollo, which is, you mentioned the name. Was it Eli Black? Oh, no, sorry. Leon Black?
No. Are you talking about Leon Black? Yes.
So Apollo, who owned Apollo?
Leon Black did.
Okay, so Apollo, Shutterfly was purchased by Apollo just a year later for $2.7 billion.
Yes.
A year later. And then Apollo is owned by Vanguard, BlackRock, which also owns Palantir by Peter Thiel. Exactly.
So the Apollo management, which was owned by Leon Black, and then you had Palantir, who was owned by Peter Thiel. All this kind of merged together, and they bought Shutterfly as well. So the facial recognition, the algorithm, all this is controlled by one entity, which is Palantir. Palantir is basically the main controller of all these companies as of what? When was Epstein killed?
2019, I believe. As of August,
as of 2019. Palantir was also working with the CIA, was working with the FBI, and was also working with military and law enforcement.
Actively.
Yeah. Because why not? They're like, hey, you know what? It's a facial recognition software. It's AI generated. It controls the algorithms and all that stuff. Why not use it with the CIA? Why not use it with the FBI? So its capabilities, again, were pattern recognition, behavior predictions, and then obviously social media network analysis, which is basically...
They are. Palantir is growing by the day. People are worried about Palantir because of J.D. Vance. He was a product of Peter Thiel, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's where it all ties in. So it comes from having your kids' photos pretty much taken. I mean, allegedly, of course, right? But it's not allegedly. It's right in front of our face. LifeTouch took the pictures. They have your kids' pictures from the day, from elementary all the way to high school.
Yeah. So let me put it to you this way. All you people that are worried about, I'm not going to put my kids on Facebook, I'm not going to put my kids on Instagram, they have your kids' photos. They have your kids' photos from kindergarten, from TK, all the way to their senior portrait. That's basically what it is. So for you to worry about, I never put my kids' pictures online, don't worry about it. They have it. They have all of it. You don't have to worry about providing any of that for it. So this is all these individuals who tie into Jeffrey Epstein all had some sort of sexual allegations that took place with, again, I don't want to say with minors, but anywhere from the ages of 14 all the way to like,
who knows what. And
the stories behind all of this are that Jeffrey Epstein had a hand in conducting all these prostitution scandals. And from Leon Black to all the way to Peter Thiel, when shit hit the fan, who did they go after? And who did they take out? They took out the head of the snake. He used all these people to get millions or at this point, billions of dollars. And eventually they took him out.
It's a huge web, essentially.
It's a massive web. And it's now, again, more and more information is coming out, but a lot of this is now leading into Ohio. So J.D. Vance was the senator in Ohio, right? J.D. Vance now, who talked so badly about Trump, is now the vice president sitting at the White House. Who is running for Ohio governor? Vivek.
Mm-hmm.
So something big is happening in Ohio, and they're saying that Peter Thiel's involved in it. Vivek is involved in it. The Trump administration is involved in it. And also, I think what's his name was involved in it as well, right? Les Rexman was involved in it as well.
Les
Rexman had massive investments in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
So he's involved in it as well. So whatever is going to be happening is something's going to be happening in Ohio in the next couple of years. So that's where we have to keep an eye out on it. But at the end of the day, when we look at all of this, this is a massive political grab from the Middle East, specifically from the state of Israel. Because all these individuals are Jewish.
Coinciding.
So what does that mean for the average Joe? What do we do? What do we take from all of this?
Our elections don't matter. Literally, our elections don't matter. The president is selected, is not elected. Everything is controlled by, I don't even want to say the oligarchies, bro. It's controlled by foreigners. Everything. We have no say in everything. All we're doing right now is we are the passengers in a ship that we don't know where it's headed. Whether it's headed to an iceberg or it's headed to the Caribbean, we don't know. Or maybe Epstein Island. We don't know.
It's essentially infiltration.
And mind you, this is all stuff that like we've grabbed from here and there, kind of tying into one another, where not all of it may be true, but majority of it still kind of connects to each other. And again, it's a lot of information. And I thank every single one of you guys for bearing with us and all the names. But I promise you this, take all these names that we mentioned and Google them, and you'll see who is tied to who. Every single one of these people is tied to each other all the way down to Epstein. Now, is Epstein dead? That's the next question. We don't know.
See, the unfortunate thing is, even if they produce or share another 30 million files, is not going to change anything. Because everything is allegedly, everything is a web. You have to tie the names. This guy bought that, and he borrowed this, and he tied that. Okay, but what does it change? It doesn't change anything. It's just who's gonna convict who of what? If everybody's name is on the list, they're gonna go and arrest one of their own, indict one of their own. And
no,
what's gonna happen?
It's not going to be any of that.
This is all again. See. It's just all an illusion. And I don't think anything is coincidental with these people. It's not like just out of the goodness of their heart, they decided February of 2026, we're going to release the files. They've planned this out a long time ago, just like in some of his emails. He talks about how Bill Gates was planning the COVID lockdowns and everything with government and whatnot. All of this stuff was planned out as far as when are we going to release AI? How are we going to slowly introduce it to people so they can gently embrace it and then start sharing their family photos and then whatever else. And then, play with these clips and videos and caricatures and so on and so forth. And then when anything we show them, we could hide it behind the AI mask or claim, well, that's just an AI clip. That's not really
AI generated.
So and so with Epstein, or it's not so and so with Prince Andrews. And I mean, if they truly wanted justice, they know exactly who's been on that island, who's done what. There's a lot of women who have stepped forward over the last few decades. Nothing's happened to anybody because nothing will ever happen to any of these people. They're just way too powerful, and there's too many involved. It's not 1 or 5 or 10. It's majority of them.
Which is why the DOJ has gone in and redacted all those names. Because what their concern is that the United States has more firearms than it has people. And if a lot of individuals wake up from this and see that, holy crap, man, we have a bunch of pedophiles running this country, and they're connected to Hollywood stars and actors and producers, directors, multi-billion-dollar founding companies, whether it's through insurance companies or software, Silicon Valley, whatever it is, and names are dropped, those, you bet your ass that people are going to go out there and take them out. And by take them out, as in like they're going to bear arms, and if they see them out in the streets, they will take them out. It's not going to be the government arresting people. It's going to be people. It's going to be the people taking out individuals.
Do you think that's not going to happen already? We can't go back to normal. You know that. This is you can't go back to normal.
My concern is, do we want those names redacted or unredacted?
Yes. Me personally, as a U.S. citizen, as someone that was born here, as someone that's a law-abiding citizen, I want those names redacted and
unredacted.
And once it's unredacted, I want them prosecuted. I want them publicly hung.
See, dude, that's the thing. Who's going to prosecute them, Joe?
Exactly. So there's a level of authority, right?
Bro, there's
so the chain of command, right?
Dude, there's no way
you
that's
have the
happen.
president. If it's not the president, well, listen, I'm not saying the president. He's implicated as well. I'm saying you have a president. You have the vice president. If it's not the vice president, the speaker of the house. If it's not the speaker of the house, it's someone else. Eventually, you're going to get down to someone that's not on that list, and that's eventually an honest person, right? Those people have to take action, and it has to be public.
Take action against who?
Against who? What do you mean? Against the pedophiles. Against whoever's on that list, whoever did something illegal. Why is it that they could get away with this? The country isn't going back, bro. It's over. This is broken. You're not going to be able to put it back together again. Humpty Dumpty is broken. It's over.
Of course. Are you kidding me? Give it a few months.
People will forget.
Everybody will forget.
I agree, but
nobody will remember it because somehow they'll find, some new information. I mean, okay, we've known Clinton has been on this list. Mm-hmm. His is no longer allegedly. I think it's at this point, it's like
the guy's a whore.
Has anybody ever seen him in public and made a single threat like, "Hey, Willie, I'm gonna take you to the patio"? Nobody, bro. People still see him. They go, they take pictures with him. They want his autograph. They pay him $250,000 to $500,000 to do speaking engagements. I mean, that's just the reality.
Yeah, but it's different when it's children already, and it's already in your face. I don't know, man. I can't rest. Can you?
Nobody can. But see, when you look at the pictures of him in a hot tub, or look, even the Monica Lewinsky scandal that took place, right? He obviously had multiple mistresses. Monica Lewinsky was the one that he got caught with. But in the emails, there are conversations of Hillary Clinton speaking or seeking legal counsel to divorce Bill Clinton, which again, it never happened, but that's in the emails as well. Bill Clinton was, the former president was a whore. The guy screwed around all the time. Who he screwed around with, whether they were minors or not minors, it doesn't matter. As Armand said, the photos are out there, the stories are out there. Will something happen to him? Probably not. So, why? Because we are controlled by the elite. Goes back to what I was saying. We are all passengers on a boat sailing somewhere. Where it's going, nobody knows.
There is one thing that we can't control, though.
What?
Taxes. Don't pay it.
Bro, come on. That's not going to happen.
What do you mean? Of course. If all the people... I get it. It's not organized. It's not whatever. Maybe this will change. I don't know. But I'm thinking a lot of people are talking about it,
bro,
man.
We can't move our own families from Glendale to Texas. You're talking about getting everybody together and not paying taxes?
It's different now.
What's different, Joe? What honestly, what's changed?
Well, let me ask you a question. If you found out that nobody was paying taxes, would you pay taxes?
No. But,
okay, so there you go.
But what does that have to do with what we found out about Epstein's
Well, it
list?
puts first what it does. It brings the government to grinding halt. Right? There's some sort of pushback at least. Right? Some that we can control besides getting our guns and going out there like psychos. Right?
What pushback have you seen so far?
Well, so far I haven't seen anything actually. I think it's way too quiet, and I'm not the only one with this opinion. I'm sure you have the same opinion, and several others. However, I believe that it might also be the quiet before the storm. But then again, who knows? Maybe I'm giving them too much credit.
No, man. You can be the most honest individual, and if you had the power of the Attorney General or the FBI director or CIA director or whatever director, doesn't mean anything, because the moment you realize I want to take a step forward and, make sure people pay for their actions, somebody's going to knock on your door. And that whoever knocks on your door, however they knock on your door, you're going to, that one step you decided to take forward, you're going to take 10 steps back within 2 seconds. It's just, I don't know. I don't see anything changing. This is, again, all just, to make us feel like, oh yeah, something's being done. Nothing is being done, man. We're still talking about JFK's assassination, MLK's assassination, and 9/11, and everything that's ever taken place. We still discuss it. No, the truth has still not been confirmed as far as, all right, guys, this is what took place. You could go back to Titanic. You could go back to World War I, World War II. I mean, you name it. It's all a big scam, bro.
I agree. It's a big scam, but
what do you think? Now you think all of a sudden, because somebody, put these emails together, we're going to be like, all right, we're going to go arrest all 3,000 billionaires.
So we're just...
See, here's a...
hold on. So what are we going to do?
There's absolutely nothing we can do.
We're just going to accept the fact that we have Satan-worshipping pedophiles in government.
They've always been around. And it's always going to be around, unfortunately. There's absolutely... The only thing you can do is try to keep your kids, your family, your loved ones away from it as much as possible. Protect them. That's all you can do.
All we need is 3% of the population. You know that, right? That's 11 million people, roughly, if we do the math. That's the largest.
Against who?
Whoever is protecting them, essentially.
Well, I think they...
I mean, remember, they swore, even the military police swore to defend this country from foreign and domestic. So,
and I would think they would honor that, but I'm not sure, because you had a lot of doctors. Not a lot. Every doctor has sworn.
And COVID, right?
And what did they do during COVID?
Yeah. Look, Levik has a great point here. We went to war for 3% of taxes, but we get taxed 40%, and we do nothing. That's what we went to war for. We went to war for 3% taxes, but now we're being taxed 40%, and we're doing nothing for it. In my opinion, I do think that all the names should be unredacted. We should view all the names, see everything that's there, all the photos, everything, so the people can understand who was involved, what the emails said, what this coding and all the code words meant, and there should be transparency, because there are billionaires and government officials in these emails who are responsible for young women getting, what's the word I'm looking for?
Raped.
I don't want to say raped.
Molested.
I don't want to even say that. I want to say, let's just say trafficked, bro.
I mean, if you want to go soft.
I mean, they
were getting trafficked.
There's emails between him and his urologist where he's asking his urologist for more pills. Okay? And then the urologist responds by saying, yes, it's ready. You can go pick it up, and then let's go grab some pizza and grape juice. Forget about hanging the urologist. Has the medical board reviewed or try to revoke his license? But yet, 5 years ago, if you prescribed ivermectin, we're going to revoke your license. I mean, you see, it's all just...
This is why
bullshit, bro.
This is why all the code wording, everything needs to be wiped clean, and we need to understand what exactly was said in those emails and by who it was said and who said what.
Look, if everybody in his emails is asking to go get pizza, I can't. I don't think all his friends are pizzaholics. They're like addicted to pizza. And,
I'm afraid to like
who
pizza
drinks
now.
grape juice to begin with, and who drinks grape juice with pizza? I mean, have you ever had grape juice with pizza? You're a pizza guy.
I hate grape juice.
There you go.
And now I gotta hate pizza.
By the
Every last Wednesday of the month, I look forward to eating pizza. But now I feel like I'm on the Epstein list.
By the way, we got something for jerky. If you want a video,
what is it?
You want to see it?
Yes.
All right, check it out.
People going crazy think they found a code word for human meat. Wait, what?
I hope the music doesn't get us pinged. By the way,
why is there music?
Hope you are feeling better. Did we analyze the jerky? Why didn't we get jerky this week? I also added more to the jerky and ginger lemongrass. Thank you so much. Super cool. Beef jerky, delicious. Jojo is here and we'll walk the jerky over to Jeffrey. We'll walk the jerky over to Jeffrey. Why would jerky walk around? Why would it do that? Delicious lunch, beef jerky. Steve and I are very grateful above all for your friendship. Some of these emails are so wholesome, aren't they? It's too bad they eat kids. A small insulated bag would be fine. I don't recommend checking it. No need for crazy amounts of ice. One should do. There is one bag of beef jerky in the fridge. Please get it. Also, Blank has more at her place. Please get it from her as well. I suppose it needs to be in a cold, insulated bag. Just wanted to touch base about jerky. J.E. said he was going to start eating regular food again, so he might be eating less jerky. He said he has 6 bags of it in a downstairs freezer. Why would you freeze jerky? Steve needs a 6 to 8 ounce portion of jerky. I gave you all the jerky we had, and it lasted only half the amount of time it was meant to. I felt like it was more important for you to have the jerky to eat during my time off. My plan is to make a batch before I leave for LSJ, and some of that will go to Steve, and the rest will go to you at LSJ when I arrive. Little St. James Island. And that's what LSJ must mean. So logically, that means that they were doing this off of the island. Steve Hansen is sending jerky to your attention overnight. I believe it should be enough to get him through. Jeffrey Epstein is asking to bring him more jerky. I'm flying in on Friday. I will bring jerky.
It's got another minute. Yeah, but look, it's, you know what the toughest thing is? It's like we've gone from this simple life to now we're being just constantly thrown all this nonsense where you can't even figure anything out. A simple example is go on Instagram today or X or whatever your preferred choice of social media is. Can you figure out a very basic thing? What soap to use, what type of toothpaste to use, or what type of apple to eat, or what type of avocado? You can't. Every day there's something new. Well, if you've been using, so-and-so toothpaste, it's got more poison than this other toothpaste. Okay. If you've been drinking water out of these bottles, it's got more micro plastics than. You're like, okay, so what do we do? Are we just being poisoned all day long? I mean, what the hell are we supposed to do? Like, for example, today I read something about Tums. We've been using Tums for a while.
Tums, the heartburn medication?
No, the toothpaste, the all-natural toothpaste, right?
Okay.
Today, all of a sudden, it's the most poisonous kids' toothpaste. Like, all right, so what do we do now? Don't use this deodorant. Don't drink out of that. Or don't use this shampoo because it also causes, thyroid issues and you can get Hashimoto. Like, what are we supposed to do and absorb? And it's just become way too much and then, download this app. And if you scan the QR codes or the SKU codes, it'll tell you, if it's 70 out of 100 or it's 88, the higher the number, the, better it is for you. And God knows who's paying for those ratings. And it just seems like the more we know, the more we figure everything is just a big scam. That's why going back to living a simple life, not paying attention to very much things that are going on. I think.
But you're talking about people's livelihood here, man. You're talking about young kids and young females who were trafficked.
Of course, that's a very, very. Listen, if you remember, who was it that the former military guy we interviewed? I forget his name. Where he worked on these things for 2 years, right? He was trying to catch these predators where he's like, if we caught them with X amount of photos, we couldn't do anything because we needed, what was it, 650 points?
Yeah.
Oh, we had to get
right?
Yahoo.
Okay. So, I mean, and that guy, after 2 years of doing that, he's like, I couldn't take it anymore. And when he talked about the map, he showed the map, and pretty much more than half the United States was red dots with just pedophilia and all that, trafficking and all that. Even Petros Hadjian, he's been talking about, the basement of the Getty Center and all these, the cannibalism and these
the Illuminati,
and everybody's called him crazy for 15, 20, 30 years, right? Now the list comes out, we're buying into it. Not that we're buying it, it's just, it's always been around, unfortunately. I'm not saying, of course, it should not happen, but who's going to do what?
So as I mentioned, I think the names should be unredacted and justice will be served by itself. It'll be handled.
My fear is the fact that our kids have to live through this. While we're around, if we could do something, let's do it. That's where I'm coming from. Okay,
so what is the one thing you can do?
Well, that's the thing. It's so early. It's like, put me on the spot. Why don't you? How am I supposed to figure that out right now? But there needs to be something
it's
done.
Something we've thought about for
we haven't.
10 years.
We haven't.
We have.
No, because the list was not 10 years. We didn't know this was going on this way.
Is there anything on here that you don't know about?
Well, did you know? Yeah, I didn't know
like
Trump was in there, or else we wouldn't have voted for him. Right?
Okay,
Would you vote for Trump?
One guy's name, Hito?
What do you mean one guy? There's Elon Musk that's in there that's been begging to go on the island. What are you talking about?
Was he begging to go on the island?
He was begging to go on the island.
Ever since the list came out, his net worth went up another 100 billion. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, the guy's almost a trillionaire.
Look, I agree with you. I'm on the same page with you that nothing's being done. I get it. I'm not arguing with you on that. But something has to change, man.
Look, just listen to what's his name, Dan Bongino, who was talking big prior to become the assistant FBI director. Now, he resigned. Now he's back on the radio, right?
Yeah, of course.
Listen to his tone now. Well, we truly didn't have everything we were looking for. We truly did. Or you didn't have anything.
Well, Kash Patel was the same. Kash Patel was like, we will bring justice to Jeffrey Epstein.
Of course.
And then as soon as he became FBI director, his tone changed.
But this guy has resigned now. Now he's just a radio.
Well, no, he resigned, but his tone hasn't changed. His tone is still the same.
That's what I'm saying. He's still speaking as if there was nothing there. We did have no evidence of anything.
Well, yeah, he has to at this point.
Okay, so why can't he go back to his old tone then?
Because the people up top already gave him a slap on the wrist saying, you better not say anything. That's what it is.
If you want your family's brakes to work,
yes,
your family's cars.
This is why I'm saying there's certain individuals involved in this. Where again, these are just some of the names that we found that were not redacted. Where you look and you see this web connecting to certain individuals. Again, multi billionaires. God knows who else's name is there that's blacked out. Where they'll be much more familiar. These are all unfamiliar names. I didn't know who any. Did you know who any of these people were? Did you?
Just a couple names.
Besides Peter Thiel. Obviously, because he gets a PayPal.
Obviously. Those names have been. That one girl even wrote a book. She was on PBD show once or twice, even maybe, where even PBD was like, "Are you sure you want to name these names? Because I'm concerned about your safety." I forget her name. She was a young author. I mean, these names have been talked about for a long time.
I know that, but they're not common names for you to kind of understand that.
Okay, again, Bill Gates. Do you think Bill Gates was on there?
Yes.
Yeah, of course he was.
And nobody's ever ran into Bill Gates?
People have ran into Bill Gates, but when you look at Bill Gates' emails, everything's freaking redacted. It says Bill Gates' email, Melinda Gates' email, and it's all just blacked out. Okay, what was said?
Okay, you already know what was said.
No, we don't know what was said.
They weren't discussing, should I buy half a dozen eggs or a dozen eggs?
Again, but based off of what's available to you, You have no idea what was
so
said.
the moment people see what was said between Bill Gates and
will it not change your perspective as to understanding? Hey, you know what?
I already know the guy's a freaking pedophile. Like, but what I'm saying is whether they expose the actual emails or not, nobody's gonna see him in public and all of a sudden go and hit him with the bat. That's not gonna happen.
So when is it okay? I mean, when is it not okay? Is it like
I'm not saying? Listen, guys.
No, I know you're not saying
any of this is okay.
Right. No. I'm sorry. Let me reword that. When
please.
When is it? Yeah, don't want to. When is it okay? Like meaning. When do people do something? Is it when they come to the school and they actually say, "Hey, I want these 3 kids. Let's go"?
Look, we went to the Glendale Unified School District protest, right? And then we arranged meetings with the superintendent and principals. How many people How many parents showed up?
Exactly. And honestly, I think they're all bitches. To be honest with you, if I'm going to fight for your kids and you're not.
And this is
there,
for your own kids. This is not some kid you have no idea about that. They're talking about some island you've never seen before. We're talking about your kid's elementary school and people don't show up. Like, I mean, you expect people to stand up for children or young women or men who are in this mystical island that nobody's seen before. I mean, it's hard for people to really grasp what's going on. And they're like, listen, I can barely pay my cell phone bill. You think I'm going to sit here and try to figure out how we're going to get, justice against all these billionaires and powerful people? Unfortunately not. It's just, I don't know. Those people up top need to handle these situations, but
for sure
they're all compromised. So
for sure, but as public, we could at least talk about it. We could at least provide.
I'm not saying don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I don't let it consume me because after all, it's just there's too many people involved. It's I think COVID really proved how powerful media and everything is, how quickly they turn family against family and friends against friends. And, you're not jabbed and you can't come to our Christmas party. Why? Because I'm not willing to have a blood clot? Like, that's what we were dealing with for many years. And that, even with that, all of us faced it. None of us have, thank God, faced it on our skin. We expect everybody to stand up and fight. They wouldn't even fight for their own kids, like being forced to be injected with poison. They wouldn't stand up for it. You think they're going to stand up for some unredacted name? Oh man, people don't have a spine. There's no unity. There's none of that. But what the hell do I know? Why are you smiling like that?
Because I said it. I said, we're all passengers on this boat, just on for a ride.
Give me a bazooka. Fucking sink the damn thing. Done.
Look, again, like as I mentioned, we're never going to see any of these files unredacted. We're not going to see it. From the JFK files to the MLK files to the 9/11 files, we're not going to see who was involved, how they were involved. All we're going to know is what they want us to know.
Yeah.
That's it.
What they're showing us is basically what they want us to see.
Exactly. Whatever they want us to see, they'll show it to us. Bro, even who was the owner of the Twin Towers?
Silverstein.
Silverstein, right?
Yeah, the one that wasn't there when he was there every day.
A lot of people that were supposed to be in the building that day
what
weren't there.
Ethnicity? What religion were they?
Everybody knows.
I like
but anyway,
putting on the spot like that.
But with Silverstein, the terrorist insurance clause that he got, or the coverage that he got, a couple weeks or days before the 9/11 attacks, and building number 7, still we don't even know how the hell that one collapsed.
Explosion.
Yeah, but
bombs. Thermite.
People, when John Kiriakou was sitting down with us, we were questioning, saying, do you really think planes hit it? Do you think it was a controlled demolition? And in the comments, you see it. People are there saying, oh, look at these conspiracy theorists talking about Building 7 and 9/11 being an inside job. Well, will we ever know? I truly in my heart believe that 9/11 was an inside job.
Oh, of course.
Hey, healthy truth, since you're making smart ass comments, were you at the protest? Do you have any kids? Were you there? Or were you just sitting at the comfort of your home watching us on the news? It's just so cute how, the people make such comments. Well, things are changing and this guy's opinion. It's my opinion. You don't like it, turn off. Go watch somebody else's opinion. But I bet you weren't out to protest. And I bet you haven't done as much as we have for the community. So, your opinion is welcomed, but be respectful with your comments.
Anyways, anything else before we call it a night? I know Josh was texting us about a Joe Rogan comment. Reaction. Do we want to watch that, or what is that?
I have no idea how long that clip is. I do want to give a reaction to it, I'm sure, but I don't know if now would be the right time. But we could try if you want.
I mean, do we want to pull it? Is it on YouTube? What is it? Because
it's on WhatsApp, and I gotta click it and see what's up. I'll do it on the sidelines if you want to.
I mean, you could. There's nothing. We're done for the night. That's the only reason why. Do you guys want to see the reaction to it, or?
Let's see. I mean, whatever it is.
Well, bring it up, bro. Bring it up while we're here. So, I mean,
pick them up.
Yeah. Look, Harry. There's some more hitchhikers on the side of the road. Pick them up.
Right here.
Mark.
He was talking about a 10-minute mark, or what was it?
The Joe Rogan experience.
It's a whole. Did he say the exact time?
Hold on. Go to the WhatsApp real quickly.
Right here.
Oh, you're not sharing the screen yet, right?
No.
Okay, go to the WhatsApp because obviously we have. What is Josh saying? What time slot is it at?
He's saying apparently Joe Rogan is defending.
But is there? Hold on. Is there a time slot on it?
He gave a time slot. He said.
10:25. Let me see if I can find that.
Okay, go to 10:25.
Yeah, give me 1 second. 10:25.
Okay, it's like basically the last 5 minutes. Oh, look at that. There's a spike right there in the algorithm.
Yeah. No, that's not it.
That's right there. Look at
it.
that.
Right here, 10:20. All right, here we go.
Okay,
Let me share it.
This is going to be fun.
This is going to be interesting, yes. All right.
Gets them a lot of local influence and wins them a lot of favor.
But that's a very specific illicit desire to want underage people.
Well,
how do you even find out that someone's into that?
Well, I don't think that the majority or anything close to it of the women were technically. I mean, I think it was largely very young. Barely legal, so to speak. But and I know that there were cases of underage, but I think
most of it was just
very, very young, but not like
20-year-old,
not
girls,
like 13 type thing. And then remember, because this is an international enterprise, and many of the clients are like, in countries that don't necessarily have the same norms about that that we do. You can very easily see someone getting involved in that just because girls juice deals. And so I don't think that Epstein, I've not seen evidence, and in my view, you don't need any of that to understand the core part of the Epstein story that has relevance to your life today in terms of your own government and the workings of power and corporate finance and the like. But I do think that girls juice deals, and the fact that he had the coolest parties on a private island with the hottest girls is something that makes...
brought in a lot of intellectuals, stimulating conversations, scientists, all these very interesting people. So that was part of the thing, right? That was the draw.
Try hosting a cool party as a guy with a bad ratio, so to speak.
Sausage party.
With a sausage party. And when you develop a reputation for having attractive women at the parties you host, you become an important person to know in the network. Because basically every male has a desire for attractive women, not saying underage, obviously, but that is like a universal biological desire for men to want to be around attractive women.
And what did they do for gay guys?
I have no idea.
Is that a part of the file or the lore?
I've not seen evidence of it. I can't recall it offhand. But again,
the whole point is he's throwing these very attractive, cool parties to get all these people together.
But that's what juices deals.
Right.
If you take this scenario. Epstein's running a fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
Essentially, what he's saying is
hang on, let me turn it off. There we go. Yeah.
Essentially, what he's saying is who. By the way, who was his guest?
Let me see. It is.
Does it say?
I don't see it. Joe Rogan, Mike Benz.
Okay, so Mike Benz was his guest. All right, so essentially, what he's saying is that Epstein was throwing the coolest parties. Everybody wanted to be part of it. It goes back to what we were mentioning in these emails. He got the Rolodex from Leon Black, right? From Wes Lexman or Wexman, whatever his last name was. And the who's who was at that party. At the time, yeah, it was the quote unquote coolest parties because every celebrity was there, every influencer was there, and you wanted to be part of it. But long and behold, dude, this guy was blackmailing everybody left and right.
Yeah, but being a part of it, did they know that it was children? I don't know if they knew that it was children. Did they? That's the part I think that's controversial, where it says that's the coolest parties, or they went to the coolest parties.
If anybody who believes that having sex with minors is a cool party, you need to seriously check yourself because I
don't think that's what Joe's saying.
Well, no, it was. I think his comment because he's getting a lot of pushback.
He's getting pushback because there are obviously conversations about the whole minors and pizza and jerky and all this stuff where there's children involved in it. That's why he's getting pushback.
I mean, people are pissed off, bro. You got to understand, this isn't like anything else. You know this.
No. I know people are pissed off, but again, it goes back to what we were saying initially. Will something be done about this?
Give it, yeah.
What, you really think something will be done?
I'm praying to God something will be done.
What happened to P. Diddy?
P. Diddy was the Epstein version for the hip hop crowd.
What about Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. I'm agreeing with you. Nothing's being done. But
P. Diddy, for example, remember that video they showed of the hotel hallway where
he was beating the shit out of
he beat the crap out of his girlfriend.
That moment you're just, raging. You're like, no, okay, they took him to jail. He's living in this VIP cell right now. He probably has access to
lady boys,
whatever he wants, hand rolls and
not the same in my opinion. I don't know. Children, it's completely different, especially.
Justin Bieber, Usher, these guys were children when he did all those things to them.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because the parents voluntarily took them down thinking they're taking them into some talent agency doesn't mean they were not children.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's like, but that's the thing. And this guy's alive. They can do whatever they want to him. Nobody's touched him in prison. We think the public, if they saw, would do something. Yet the guy's in prison. Nobody in prison knows what he's in there for, and they haven't touched him.
I'm surprised they haven't taken him out in prison. Because prison rules are things happen to you when you touch a minor, right? That's what the rules are in prison. If it's rape, if it's anything with a minor, things happen to you. But has anything happened to Harvey Weinstein? Has anything happened to P. Diddy?
He's probably got more security than the president does.
100%.
What I think is going to happen, but I think the government knows that it's completely broken, and people know that, and I think that they're going to have scapegoats or the little fish get some sort of punishment, right?
Yeah, they'll pick up some guy from Pasadena, give him 4 life sentences,
but the big boys, right? The ones, the big boys, the ones that are like really.
Who are you talking about? What guy in Pasadena?
I think he was being sarcastic.
No, he wasn't. I know who he's talking about.
Oh, he is.
we had to redact that episode. Jeez. By the way, Healthy Truth apologized for cursing.
Thank you, Healthy Truth. You may want to disclose your name so we could refer to you properly.
Yeah. And look at this. Oh yeah, Levy, R. Kelly, bro. R. Kelly going around pissing on minors.
Yeah.
Well,
they'll probably give him an Emmy.
But R. Kelly's in jail, no?
No, he's not in jail. Is he? Is he still in jail? I think he's out.
No, R. Kelly's isn't he in jail?
Lev, is he out?
Hold on, bro.
No, we gotta. Lev, we gotta give you an official position.
A remote
remote support
position here, because even when you move to Idaho, you can still do it remotely from there.
R. Kelly is currently, he is still in jail.
Yeah.
He's still serving. Yeah.
P. Diddy's in jail.
So
R. Kelly's in jail.
Such tough justice.
31 years. Wow.
So see, it's possible.
That's bro. He was involved in child pornography, bro. That's not justice.
Of course, I believe in public hanging, and they should bring the guillotine back. But
bro, he pissed on kids, bro.
Yeah,
he had sex with minors.
No, I mean, yeah, but at least he's in jail, right? Not walking around and owning billion-dollar companies.
Yeah, now he's just banging elder. He's just
or
banging
getting banged.
Yeah, or getting banged. Doesn't matter. But anyways,
tomato.
potato. Fuck it. Anyways, all right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I know there was a lot of information. We tried to cram this in and try to put it together as best as we could to kind of help you guys understand what is really going on and who's tied into what and what's tied into who and if anything will be done. But again, none of us know. None of us know. And will we ever know? I can't even answer that.
Kevin Spacey. Nothing happened to Kevin Spacey.
Bro, we could just keep adding names.
Yeah, it's insane.
We could just keep adding names. But anyways,
people need to die, bro. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, shit. I'm not condoning violence, but hey,
people need to die. I'm not condoning violence.
People die anyway. You know, people just need to die, right?
How about we say unalive?
Unalive.
I was being sarcastic, Joe.
Oh, okay. I just said it though.
Guys, today's episode will be up and running on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms mañana. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Have a great week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys all next week.